This show is brought to you by Victor Nawrocki Realtor, experienced real estate agent serving Disney and the greater Orlando area of celebratingflorida.com. Have you ever dreamed of living where the magic happens? Seeing fireworks from your backyard, or being able to make a quick drive to dine in the glow of the castle, or just to stroll the World Showcase? Victor Nawrocki has made that dream come true for himself and others. One of the biggest decisions you'll make when considering a move is selecting a realtor who can successfully match you with the right home in the right location at the right price. If you're looking to buy or sell in the Orlando area, here's why Victor is the realtor you'll want in your corner. Victor knows the Disney area like the back of his house, where he views and live casts fireworks nightly. Victor's buyers and sellers recognize he has a passion for life as he approaches each day with enthusiasm and brings that joy to his job. By creating a free, no-obligation account on his website, celebratingflorida.com, you'll unlock the website's full potential and be able to enter specific criteria, save listings, and browse new properties sent to your email. Is it time to follow your dream? Victor is looking forward to helping you discover the real estate opportunities that are right for you in this beautiful and fun-filled part of Florida. Visit celebratingflorida.com today, or view Victor's view at victorsvista.com, and let Victor know the Solo Show sent you. Broadcasting from the TP aisle in a local grocery store here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, in the center of North America, on this little planet we call Earth, this is the Solo Show. Jumping into the guest host chair this time is Paul Houk. He and Stan are going to share stories about all things goofy. And now, before we begin, our senior correspondent, Ned Niedermeyer, wants to share a special tribute with us.
Oh, I think that's Ned now. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Oh well, on with the show. Please welcome your host, Stan Solo.
Hey Ned, you okay?
Oh,
I guess not.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Solo Show. I am Stan Solo and I am having a blast. And today, we've got a fun show. Mr. Paul Houk is joining us today in the Solo Studios. How are you, Paul, and welcome aboard?
I am having a wonderful time in quarantine and self-quarantine in Alabama.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Look at that. You answered two of my questions right off top before, without even asking them. I was going to ask you, where are you from and how are you making note with the quarantine?
In the wonderful city of Montgomery, Alabama.
Nice. So we're going to talk about a character. Honestly, I don't know very much about this character, but Paul, he's a self-proclaimed expert. He knows everything about Goofy. So let's find out a little bit about Goofy. I don't know why, for whatever reason, Goofy just never really resonated with me so much. I guess I'm more of a Mickey Mouse type of guy. So, Paul, what got you interested in Goofy?
Probably it goes back to when the Goofy movie came out, and Goofy movie came out in 1995, and so it's coming up on its 25th anniversary. And I think the way that Goofy and his son Max got along together, and Goofy was always just kind of like the guy who always looked at he was the glass half full person, and I guess I just always kind of resonated with me because I'm always the person who I always try to smile and make people happy, and I don't like conflict, So
he's like, it doesn't matter how bad things go, it's a positive for him. Like that's one thing. And I watched the Goofy movie when it first came out. I think I bought it on VHS. I didn't see it in the theaters, and I think I watched it once, and that was probably the one and only time I watched it. And then what was the second movie that came out? The Extremely
Goofy movie. And that came out in 2000, and that was when the X Games were all big. And so, and the premise of that was Max was going to college, and Goofy ended up losing his job because he missed Max. And then they said, oh, you can't get a job unless you have your college degree. And he said, I need one more year for college. And so he decided to go to college with Max.
Oh, okay. Didn't Rodney Dangerfield make a movie about that?
Well, yeah.
There's been several.
But it and of course everything happens, and Max hates it that his dad's there, but at the end they are all happy and get along together.
Okay, I don't think I've ever seen that one. It's on Disney Plus.
It is. I just watched it.
I did rewatch the Goofy movie, and I watched a couple episodes of the Goof Troop. But I haven't watched the Extremely Goofy. I've been too busy. I'm working my butt off.
Well, you're having to keep the store shelves stocked. stopped, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, it's been a busy few weeks. So
Lots of toilet paper.
Yeah, well, we're out now, but we're getting some in. We did get lots, but I don't well. The Goof Troop. When did that run?
It started in the early '90s. It actually came out before the Goofy movie. Where I can find is it started in '92.
Okay.
And it was part of the not the Saturday afternoon, the Disney afternoon programming. And so Goof Troop, went from early '90s, and then '95 the Goofy movie came out. And so it kind of continued on. In the Goof Troop, Max was younger. Goofy movie, he's in high school. And then Extremely Goofy movie, he's in college.
Okay. See, I always thought that the Goofy movie came out first, so I've never watched any of the Goof Troop shows. So I watched a couple of them here and there, first like 4 or 5 episodes. And I'm thinking, did these come out before the movie? Because he's back in the town and he meets Pete again in the first episode, and so that makes sense.
And probably I started watching the Goof Troop with my children because my son was born in '90 and my daughter was born in '91. I'd come home from work and we'd sit down and I'd watch TV with them, of course. Spending time with my kids, wink, wink.
Yeah.
I didn't watch DuckTales and Gargoyles and all of those.
Yeah. See, that's what I was watching. I was watching DuckTales and Gargoyles with my kids when those were airing. And Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers was the other one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, is Goofy a dog or a person or a combo? What is this guy?
Well, according to Wikipedia, and we know we can trust everything on the internet, says he's an anthropomorphic. How do they say that? I can't even say it right.
Welcome to my world.
Anthropomorphic dog.
Okay.
So I guess he's a dog with human attributes.
Makes sense.
So he is a dog.
He's a dog. Yeah. Because his original name was Goofy Dog, wasn't he? Or Goofy?
Dippy Dog.
Dippy Dog.
Originally, in 1932, he was called Dippy Dog, and he was actually an older character. And then they said later in 1932, he actually came out as Goofy in a short called The Whoopie Party.
Okay. So is Goofy his last name or his first name? Like his initials are GG Goof when he gets his mail.
Okay, I'll go down all of his full name is supposedly is GG, and then in quotations, Goofy Goof.
So we don't know.
Goofy is his nickname. GG stands for George. Well, it depends. During the shorts during the 50s, he would refer to George or Goofus, George or Goofus G. So they kept changing it.
If you ever listen to the Grand Circle Tour podcast, George and Goofus, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Poor George.
No, we love George. So George Goofus Goofy Goof is where his name is. Let's stick with Goofy.
Lots of G's.
Yeah, no kidding. I thought for sure there'd be a Gordon in there somewhere for some reason.
You don't want that one to show up on Scrabble because you'll never have enough G's for spelling his name.
Yeah, no kidding. So you're into the collecting of all the Goofy stuff. That's how you kind of got on the show. You sent me a photo of it. You go, I know a little bit about Goofy, and you showed me a picture of your collection, and I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, this guy better know a lot about Goofy if he has a collection like that. So what all are you into with the collectibles?
Well, it all started with Burger King. And you have to realize I'm a retired Air Force officer, and so in 1995 the Goofy movie came out. Burger King had a promotion with Disney, and they had several toys that came with their kids meals, and there was one which actually I don't think this actually is in the movie. It must have gotten cut out. But it's Goofy riding like a bucking bronco, and it's a wind-up toy, and you wind it up and you put it on the table and it rolls, and Goofy swings back and goes back and forth like he's riding a bucking bronc.
Back when the Burger King and McDonald's toys were actually good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I guess I got that from my kid, and I was like, this is cool, and I put it on my desk at work, and that's what started it.
It always starts with one.
Thank you, Burger King. And then my wife became an enabler, and so she started finding things for me. She'd find things on eBay. And then I'd just start finding things. The 90s, the late 90s were really good for a lot of Goofy stuff. Parks had a lot of it, and you could find different plush, the little beanies, and they had a lot of interesting ones, different styles. I mean, I think I have over 50 different beanies.
Oh, wow.
Cowboys. Epcot had a whole series of Goofy from all the different countries. I have one from Canada, which is super cute. He has a Canadian flag. He has on moose antlers. He has
Of course.
a flannel shirt. A red check flannel shirt. I've got one, Russian, German, all different countries that had, they had Goofies. And then they came out with pins, of course. I have a vest that I actually, because I teach school now, and so on the 100th day of school, you'd bring things that would be like 100 of. So one year I put all my pins on my vest. I had 100 Goofy pins
Holy
that I put on my vest, and it weighs about 20 pounds. And so I only wore it for 1 year, and I said, okay, that's enough. But I still have all my pins.
And if you ever got shot, the bullets would just ricochet off.
Well, yeah, that's or someone came up and hit you real hard, the tips of the pins would dig into you, and so it's like,
you sound like that from experience.
no, it's not really, but it would just poke you every once in a while. So
yeah.
And then they had all the different hat, and you can still get, like, I have this Goofy Mickey ear beanie.
Yeah.
They had different areas. They had Viking
the
ears,
Viking hat with the Mickey
Goofy ears. Then you had the typical, just the goofy ball cap.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. The one with the really long bill and the long ears and the little teeth at the end of the cap.
That's my
favorite.
That's my third one. I've worn out two. And the neat thing about being a school teacher, and I also worked at church camp, that I'd take all my hats with me. And I'd wear a different hat each day at church camp. And I'll wear them when we have crazy hat day at school. I'll wear my different.
I was going to say, the kids must really respect their teacher walking around with a goofy Mickey Mouse hat.
No, it's not. It's not the students. It's the principal. Really, the principal really respects me when she sees me dressed up like that.
It's understandable on Crazy Hat Day, but if you do it on a daily basis, it gets a little
big. I do also have about 8 or 10 different Goofy ties, that in the wintertime when I'm wearing long sleeve shirts, I'll wear Goofy ties to school. And then I have the myriad of Goofy t-shirts that, I wear.
Oh, nice.
And then there's also a lot of the tie-in with Goofy to other aspects of the Disney company. A couple that you would really be interested in is I have a Goofy C-3PO. And a Wookiee Goof. So it's Goofy's face, but with Wookiee hair all over him. It's just one of the little like the 3-inch tall vinyl figures. And
I almost bought that.
I'm having 2-inch. Yeah, and then the Goofy C-3PO. So he's Goofy with the gold suit on.
Yeah. That was cool. I liked. I missed that the Disney stopped doing those Star Wars the Fab Five
tie-ins.
Yeah. When after they took over Star Wars, like, we're going to keeping Star Wars serious and we're going to stop making those. I have a few of them. Of those, I have the Chip and Dale or Ewok vinyls. I have like those ones. And
see, so you go for the Star Wars for everything. I just go for the Goofy stuff. So
yeah. Whatever kind of catches my eye and I can afford, I tend to pick up. But I'm cutting back though. I'm trying to cut back. I have no room. Everything's full.
That's the problem. Is luckily a lot of his stuff it is small. A lot of the Goofy stuff. I do have some things. I have like a Goofy remote control car, which is pretty sizable. And it just sat on a shelf. And I actually used it. It's always fun to chase cats with.
How about the Vinylmations? Did they make any of the Vinylmations? Because that was around the time that they were really hot. Like, they simmered down a lot now.
They did have. I have two. I have one. It's a Darth Vader Goofy Vinylmation, and then I have one that's a Christmas Goofy Vinylmation. So he's like dressed in a Christmassy clothes.
Yeah.
So there was some Vinylmation. I didn't get in. It was one of those things that you can't collect everything. I quit collecting Vinylmation.
Yeah.
I only did a couple of Goofy ones. And I know that they've had some of the Zoom Zooms, and So I know there's like they'll have like that.
Yeah, they seem to have disappeared off out of the parks. Also, the Zoom. You don't see them as much anymore. That craze seems to have died down. Do you find?
I'm not a big Zoom person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think I don't have a Goofy one. I bought my wife a couple of Olaf ones because she loves Olaf.
Oh, okay. I got a couple Star Wars ones, of course. Ewok one. And, yeah, Jabba one. The Goofy in the parks is always fun to meet up with.
Yes.
You know, he's a tall character, very colorful, and you know, usually, do you have any experiences with meetups? I imagine you'd be wearing your hat in the park, and Goofy must love that.
Yeah, well, I was stationed in Korea for 2 years, in 1999 to 2001, and one of the Army captains that worked for me grew up in Orlando, and he was a friend of Goofy.
Okay.
And so we would talk about, you know, his experiences as being a friend of Goofy. You know, and meeting with people. And, you know, so he thought it was pretty hilarious that I like Goofy because you have to realize I would have my desk covered with, well, not covered. I would have like maybe 10 or 15 different Goofy.
There'd be a good representation.
Yeah. And, you know, so here we are in Seoul, Korea. And, yeah, I'm working for an Army lieutenant colonel and I have Army captains working for me and I'm in the Air Force. And they already think about, you know, the Army and the Air Force already have a wonderful relationship. But he, you know, he just kind of shake his head sometimes. But yeah, there's as we were talking earlier about how one of the places you can get a good experience with Goofy is after Christmas when Santa Claus is back in the North Pole. They bring out Santa Goofy. And so Santa Goofy would do the visits, and you know, I'll walk up with, you know, my Goofy shirt on and my Goofy hat. And of course, Goofy's always like, "Oh, hey, I love you," and, you know, and we're like back and forth. Hey, you're the best. Oh, you're the best. And then there was one time in Hollywood Studios where I was walked up, you know, to Goofy, and he was like, saw me in my Goofy shirt and my Goofy hat, and he was like, you know, give me like a thumbs up, and then he goes like, you know, points to, you know, to me, to him, and he's like, you know, pantomiming like, "Here, you do it," and then he walks off.
His shift is over.
Yeah, like, I'll see you later. I'm going to take a break. You take over my job. And so I was like,
the hat and shirt on already.
So I sat there and you know, and the handler, you know, played along with it also. They were like, "Okay, next person up to meet Goofy." And so, you know,
so there's Paul with some random guests photos.
Someone is like, "Who are you?"
Paul's giving little girls hugs.
You know, Goofy is always, you know, always Goofy.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the reason why I like Goofy so much is, you know, that Goofy is, you know, no matter what happens, he gets through it. It was like all those, you know, the shorts they had, the how-to shorts in the 50s.
Yeah, and the Olympics and all that, those ones.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, how to fly, and some of them are just hilarious.
The sport ones.
Yeah. You know, when the one they redid, it was like in the 2000, how to hook up your home stereo. You remember that one?
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, let me see if they.
I'll have to look up that one.
That one came out. They said it was. I don't know why you missed it because it was. They said it was showed at the Ottawa Film Festival or something.
Okay.
But yeah, see, it was at the Ottawa International Animation Festival is where it was premiered, and then it was showed. It was the short in front of National Treasure, Book of Secrets in 2007.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, you'll have to look that one up. It's pretty hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'll have to look that one up.
So yeah, and then he's also on the back of Disney Magic. You know, he's painting the name on the back of the ship.
The cruise lines are really good. The like when you go to Alaska, you'll get to meet Goofy in his Alaska outfit.
Right.
And he just walks around like it's not like a standard, like a static meet and greet where people come and stand in line. He just kind of walks around the outer edge of the ship. And I got some great photos with Goofy in his Alaska outfit. Just, you know, walk whatever deck it is that goes around the outer rim where the lifeboats are. That's
right.
Yeah. And I love it that it seems like he's the only character that does that. I guess Donald Duck does as well, but you could just kind of walk up to him and get your picture with him. It's not a static thing. They have him like that in Epcot as well at the International Gateway. The last couple of visits I've gone, there's a handler, but there's no PhotoPass photographer. And you have to use your own camera. And he just kind of hangs out there. He doesn't really have a spot. There's no line. Just as people walk by, they just pop in and get a picture and they keep walking. It's really, really quick. It's great. Have you experienced that one?
I have not.
Yeah.
I have not had that opportunity.
Since the Skyliner, that gateway is being used more often. So it is starting to form a bit of a line. But before the Skyliner was working, it was really good spot to me because you couldn't see him walking around World Showcase. He was kind of around the corner. You could just, if you were going like to Hollywood Studios or something like that, you would just bump into him. Like, hey, Goofy's here. And I didn't know there was no PhotoPass person, so I went and stood beside him and posed.
Yeah.
So Goofy poses, and I'm waiting for someone to take our picture, and then the handler goes, I don't have a camera. Oh, I thought you were a PhotoPass person, so I had to get my phone out, get the camera set up, and give it to him, and he took my picture with my phone. It was pretty funny though.
He's like, okay, what are we doing?
Yeah, and Goofy just played along with it. He started posing with me. He's, the foot out and the arm up, and it was pretty good.
What was the other one that I was going to? McDonald's came out with a series. I don't know. It must have been maybe for the millennium, where they came out with all the characters dressed from the international. All the countries from Epcot. Mm-hmm. You remember those?
And I think so. It was on the base was like a gold Mickey.
Oh, I don't know what the base was. I never got that, but I had like Minnie. I think was from Japan. Was dressed like from Japan.
Okay,
Donald was dressed from Mexico. Of course, the three caballeros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense.
And Goofy was from Norway, so he's dressed in the Viking outfit.
Oh, okay.
So he's got the Viking helmet, and he had on. He had on like a fur vest, which doesn't make any sense since he's already a dog and he's covered in fur. But
oh well. Do you collect the Pete stuff as well?
No.
You try to avoid the next door neighbor.
I'm just I have a few Mickeys and a couple of Minnies, but no, I limit myself to Goofy. As I said, my wife, enabled for a long time, and I finally had to say, you can quit enabling. I don't need. She get a lot of stuff. But she got me some really cool collectibles.
Kind of the collector too, then actually, I guess. Like,
yeah, she's just an enabler. But she got me two cool collectibles. With Phil Sears, you recognize the name? He's a collector. He deals in Disneyana. He's a certified Disneyana, reseller. She got me two things from him. One, it's a autographed picture of Goofy original, I guess not Dippy Dog, but from the 1930s Goofy. And then the other side is like the 1990s 2000, and then it's signed by Bill Farmer, who's the current voice of Goofy. And then for the 25th anniversary of Walt Disney World, they had banners, that hang in Main Street.
Okay, yeah.
And on one side it says thank you, and on the other side for either 25 years or for 25 magical years. And the side that says thank you is Goofy.
So where did you get that from?
Phil Sears.
Okay.
So apparently he somehow got it when Disney unloaded all of his stuff. He bought it at an auction or knew somebody who knew somebody even. So I have this. It's about a 5 or 6 foot tall vinyl banner.
Yeah.
That hung in the park.
In the park. That's cool. That's really cool. So where do you have that hanging?
That used to hang in the stairwell going upstairs where all my collection was.
Mm-hmm.
Right now it's in a box. Rolled up.
You're getting ready to move, so
yeah, unfortunately. So that we've already figured out where I'm going to get to put it in the new house. So. But that's probably my most prized possession.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Goofy stuff.
Yeah, I would imagine. And speaking of moving, I just want to talk a little bit. So you're moving to Florida.
That's the plan.
And your real estate agent is
Victor Nawrocki.
There you go. How's he working out for you?
Ding 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 ding.
I remember seeing you posting that you were dealing with Victor, and I went, "Hey, that's awesome! That's our sponsor here at the Solo Show."
Yeah. So we got we're looking at building a place in Claremont, and they're getting ready to hopefully within the next year they're going to cut a road through from Western Way past Flamingo Crossing, and so I'll be 15 minutes hopefully from Animal Kingdom.
That'd be so cool.
So the plan is I'm retiring from teaching, and I'm going to hopefully work part-time at Disney. That's the plan.
Oh, that'd be so cool. You could be a Goofy handler.
Yeah, that would probably be better than being Goofy, or being a friend of Goofy.
Being a friend of Goofy.
I'm sure it gets warm.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, a handler, that would be cool, because you get to interact with all the people.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be
That's a
really
good idea.
That'd be a cool job for sure. So Runaway, here it is. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad has a Goofy
Say that
cameo
14
in it.
Well, I'm not sure how much it's a cameo.
Yeah, it's not. I guess it's not
Because
a cameo. He's kind of like
He's the
in it.
engineer of the train.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that he's in it quite a bit. I have not been able to make it down to the parks. Well, actually, we were in Orlando a little over a month ago, but we did not go into the parks. We were just looking at property.
Yeah.
But we did go. We did get to do go to Disney Springs, and we did ride the Skyliner a lot while we were there. But so I don't really know that much about it. I just know that you start out as a train, and then something terrible happens, as always.
Just like every other dark ride. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Something awful happens.
Yeah, and then you end up being able to walk away, so you survive. I'm guessing.
Yeah. So
What are your thoughts on the new animation style of the Mickey Mouse and the Goofies and all the characters?
I will honestly tell you that I haven't watched a lot of the new animation style, mainly because I really don't spend a lot of time watching TV. Mm-hmm. So and going on and looking at them, but I guess it's definitely different from what we're used to, like the Goofy movie and that type of animation style.
Yeah, I haven't watched hardly any of them. I think the only time I can ever recall ever watching an episode or a clip was I was at the All-Star Music having lunch or breakfast or something, and they had a TV playing, and it was on. And I was by myself. I was on a solo trip, and honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the new animation style, but I guess the kids like it, and that's important. It's not made for you and me. It's made for the kids, and they seem to really like it. So that's what matters, right?
Well, I will tell you, this might be sacrilege. I really didn't like, was it Sleeping Beauty? Was that the one that came out in the 1950s? It came out after Cinderella.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was more the angular design. I never really cared for that.
Oh, wow.
That animation style. I like Cinderella, but Sleeping Beauty, I was like, that wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, that's where we're different. Yeah, I really like the Sleeping Beauty style. I love that, the straight lines and all that. Yeah, that was Mary Blair's designs, which is I mean, I said.
So does that mean that this interview is now over? Yeah.
Yeah. No. No, I appreciate different styles, and Sleeping Beauty was one of the ones I really like. I love the angular style because of it is so linear and angular and different. So that's what I mean, like different strokes for different folks. Some people really like this new animation style of the 5.5, and others don't appreciate it as much.
But I understand that the ride itself is amazing. Being the non, what do they call it? Where it's
trackless.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That style of the cars going different ways, and it depends on which car you get. Depends on how. What experience you get. Yeah. So,
I can't wait.
Yeah. I mean, well, all of us are having to wait, and I have a reservation for the middle of June, and
fingers crossed.
Yeah,
fingers crossed. Yeah.
Supposed to be taking our grandson there for his second birthday, so we will see what happens. Of course, I don't know what it's what all the coronavirus is doing for you guys in Canada, but for us right now in Alabama, we're out of school until April 6th, and I know where my daughter's at. They've just been in North Carolina. They've been extended through the middle of May, that they're not having school. They're going to be doing online school. Is that Are they having that problem with you in Canada too, or?
Yeah. The schools are out now. It's a bit. We're taking every precaution we can. People are being told to stay indoors and whatnot. But I take a goofy approach to it, and I'm very optimistic to everything that's going on, and everything's going to be fine in the end. Is my and it's going to be better sooner than we all think. Is my optimistic view on everything that's happening in the world right now.
I get one thing I need to bring up, or I'd written down, is Goofy's official birthday is actually May 25th, 1932. So that is considered by, I don't know if that was Dave Smith came up with that, or that's, I guess, maybe the first time the Dippy Dog was shown. But that is considered Goofy's official birthday.
1952. So how this
May,
guy's getting
May,
older now.
May 25th, 1932.
Oh, 32. Holy cow.
So he is 70, 80, 88 years old.
Doing good for an old dog.
Yeah. Well, especially if you added 7 years for every human year. So, yeah, he's like 560.
That's why it's important to have a positive attitude wherever you go. And that's what Goofy does.
That's it.
He has a very positive outlook on life. Is there anything? Go ahead.
I was just going to say that some of the interesting things I just rewatched the Goofy movie, an extremely Goofy movie, and the one song out of the Goofy movie, I can't remember what it's called. It was the one that that one that starts out like that. It's a very popular song. It's you find it a lot on the Disney things. But it was an extremely Goofy movie. They had one scene where the three boys are sitting around in a coffee shop, and one of the guys who's always eats the cheese and he's like asking, why is it we always wear gloves?
Good question.
He starts like taking the glove off. He's like, why are we always wearing gloves? They're like in this weird state of there, sitting drinking coffee, and like, it's like.
So was there an answer to the question?
No, there wasn't. I'm sure that someone who, when they did that when the screenwriters were writing that, I was like, let's just put this in because it would be hilarious.
Okay, right after this, I'm going to go watch the extremely Goofy movie just for that scene alone.
Okay, let me see. I'm trying to think. You're a little bit younger than me, I think. When were you born?
A long time ago.
Yeah, well, I was born in 1960. When were you born? Were you born in the 60s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were you into the disco era?
Not so much. I grew up more in the bit more northern Canada, and disco really didn't quite make it there. I mean, I heard about it,
Well, because the extremely Goofy movie goes back because the premise is Goofy had been in college like in the 1970s.
Okay, so
he goes back and
he's a disco king.
Yeah. And it's parts of it are hilarious. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh.
So he's wearing the white leisure suit with the big collar.
Yeah. Oh,
big
you
bell
got
bottoms.
It. Yep. Platform shoes, and they have this one scene where they actually get them. He's disco dancing with the librarian. It's anybody who likes that era. That part is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, see, that's more my style of animation and comedy than what they're putting out currently. I would say for sure. Anything else you wanted to add on there?
Probably in this time that we're going through right now, we all need to be more like Goofy.
I think so. Yeah, I agree.
And look on the bright side and realize that it's gonna, we just need to laugh and be happy. We don't need to be like Donald Duck, where we're just, yeah, we don't need that. Or are you wearing a Donald shirt today?
I'm wearing a Donald Duck shirt. But fair enough.
Your personality is definitely more Goofy than Donald.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But we just need to, I think Goofy is just one of those people, one of those characters that is, makes you feel good, and I think that's what we need right now too. And that's the reason why I've always liked him, is he just makes me feel good and
puts a smile on your face.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to this show. I'm so pleased that you're listening all the way to the end. And if you are planning to move to Walt Disney World or Central Florida, as our co-host Paul is today, visit Victor Nawrocki at his website, and he'll find you a home. That's what he's looking to do. And with that, Ken, take it away.
If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to join the adventure in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. If you would just like to keep the conversation going, then visit us on our Facebook page at The Solo Show. And come back for the next edition of The Solo Show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.